In that portion, in the protection part, they have mentioned about Eskimos. Can you see that portion? Fourth line. In the first paragraph, fourth line, we are talking about Eskimos. Who are these people, Eskimos? They are a group of people who are inhabited in the northern Canada, Alaska, Greenland, and eastern Siberia portions. So they are the people who is living in that area. So they are commonly called Eskimos. So there is a type of clothing that these people wear. So it is an example for protection because those region is really cold. So in order to protect their body from this extreme cold condition, they used to wear closely fitted garments in several layers. Okay. Then there is another example. Which one is that? What is the other example that is mentioned in the textbook? That is Turkoman and Kyrgyz, which is worn by pastoral people. Who are these pastoral people? They are shepherds or herdsmen. They don't belong to a particular place. They continue to move. They are shepherds or herdsmen. So they continue to move. And I will show you an image of this. Okay. Okay. So what all kind of adornments? One is clothing. The second one is accessories. Accessories. And the third one, body modifications. So one is clothing, one is accessories, one is body modification, and the fourth one is body tattooing. Body painting, etc. So adornment through clothes. Can you see the images? So what is the purpose of corsets?
To get the perfect shape.
Perfect shape, yes. What perfect shape? What is the main purpose? Why they used corset? So during that period, when the corsets were used, the symbols the symbols of a beautiful woman is small waist, a big bust. You know what, which is the bust area, right? The chest area. That is called bust area. So the symbols that point towards a beautiful woman during that period was a small, narrow waist and big bust. So in order to create that illusion of narrow waist and big bust, they used corset in order to tighten it in the waist area. So in order to narrow the waist and to enhance their bust area. Okay, that was the purpose of corset. So in that way, they used to present themselves in an aesthetically appealing way. And they used shoes, long-toed shoes. So can anyone, you have the textbook, right? You have it, right? Please read the portion adornment through clothes. So can you find any other examples other than this? Can you think of any other examples other than this corset and long-toed shoes? Just think about, just think about it. Along with corset, they have been using one more thing to enhance that bold gown look. What is it? They were using petticoats, right? The umbrella like skirts they use under the gowns. That is called petticoat. So that is also an adornment. Hmm? Adornment through clothing. Any other examples?
Their hat.
Yes, headgears. They use different kind of headgears, right? Those wigs they used during that period and different kind of headgears they used to wear. So that is also an adornment, example for adornment. Okay, good. Then next is adornment of the body. So these are few of the examples of body modifications. So accessories, as you said, Meghna, accessories. So just look at the pictures, what kind of accessories they were used to use in order to make them more aesthetically appealing. Still, we do have piercing this in this era also, but look at the piercing they used to have. This is the piercing they used to have. Can you identify the second image, the middle image? Do you know from where it is? It is a practice performed, which was performed in one of the Asian countries. Can you identify which was that Asian country? Can you identify this one? This was performed by Chinese women. So the ancient customs considered as the ultimate expression of feminine beauty and social status. This was considered as a symbol of feminine beauty and status by Chinese women. So they used to wrap their legs tightly and they used to wear a very small triangular shoes. And they were considered this as a symbol of beauty and status during ancient period. Hmm? So this is a custom performed in Sudan. Still, many of the tribals are still performing this. They are still wearing this in their ears lips, they are still wearing this kind of piercing. Still, many of the tribes around the world is mostly African tribes. They are still doing these piercings. So it is Kichepo woman. Kichepo women in Sudan used to wear these kind of piercings in their lips, lower lips. And from where this, which tribe? Why they are wearing those rings? This, these rings, spiral rings in their neck. Why they are wearing it? They used to believe that elongated neck is a symbol of beautiful woman. So, so in order to elongate their neck, they started wearing this ring. They started slowly added the number of rings to elongate their neck. They used to believe that it is a status of beauty. So in order to elongate their neck, they started wearing rings and this slowly added the number of rings. So the Kayans in Paduan tribe used to perform this, used to wear this body adornment. So the next adornment, what kind of body adornment? Can you think of any other body adornment? So you saw piercing, right? You saw this leg one, you saw piercing, this what? The rings, the necklace they wear, the spiral necklace they wear to in order to elongate their neck. So there is one kind of body adornment we are performed still. Some of us are really crazy about it. I really love to have one.
Tattoo.
Tattoo, yes. So tattooing is one of the body adornment. We are going to discuss it. This is one body adornment method. Scarification. Scarification. So have you seen this? Has anyone seen the movie Black Panther? Anyone of you? No. No one. Start seeing English movies, guys. Okay, Black Panther. So in Black Panther movie, the villain is having this scarification in his body. Okay, so they used to scratch their body. They used to scratch their body, and they considered it as a beauty and an element of beauty. And they used to apply an natural irritating element on their body after scarring, so that it will appear like this. So they considered this as a beautification process. They considered it as an part of beauty. They were trying to portray them in a more aesthetically appealing way, and they considered it as beauty. So they scarred themselves, applied this natural irritant on it to make this effect. So they used to scar in different patterns. Okay, so they consider this as an element that will enhance their beauty. Body tattooing. The other thing is body tattooing. You know what is body tattooing. So there is no need of explaining it. You use a needle and you insert ink into your skin, right? So that is how tattooing is done. Other body adornment is body painting. Body adornment is body painting. So Kathakali, you know, right? Women in the Chinese dynasty, Japanese geisha girls, face painting for sacred rituals. So they used to wear this, they used to paint their face. This Chinese Japanese girls, when they are attending certain rituals, when they are uh, going to attend their own wedding, they used to wear this special painting, face painting. So it was also considered. It was a so the makeup that we are using nowadays is a replacement of those face painting. So that is how those face paintings that were performed in the Chinese and Japanese dynasty were evolved and became the face makeup that we are using nowadays. So that is how it started. Okay. So Kathakali, another example for face painting. Hmm? So do you know the history behind or the rituals behind this colors and everything that is done in Kathakali? So why green is used? Why white is used? Why red is used? So there is story behind each color and each characters. In Kathakali there are different characters. Pacha, Kari, like that. There are a lot of characters in Kathakali. So behind each colors, there are a lot of stories. So each color represent each uh, like good, bad, evil, like that. Each color represent these factors. Hmm? So there is a lot of story behind body painting. Hmm? So which is the next factor? Next factor. So we discussed about protection. We discussed about ritualistic adornment. Then the next one is identification. So how identification be a factor for origin of clothing? How identification played a role in it?
To present the way we want.
So these are the factors, identification factors. You can see it, right, Meghna? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what were you saying? Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
To present the way we want.
Yes, to present the way. Yes. Hmm? So, but why we want to get identified? Hmm? We want to get identified in the society. So, what is that identification? What we need to be identified in which manner we want to be identified? We have a name for others to identify us. So, what they meant by identification? So, social status, they were different. If we take a pyramid, if this is a pyramid, there were different social classes. The royals, uh, the ministers, then the last one was farmers or the poor. I'm just writing to explain it. Okay. So like that, the royals used to dress in a certain way. Hmm? So the royals were consider that suppose the royals were the only ones who are supposed to wear silk. Hmm? Royals are the only one who is supposed to wear silk. So if I wear a silk gown and if I go outside, people will identify me as a royal person who belongs to the royal family, right? Because I'm wearing a silk gown. If I'm wearing, if the ministers are allowed to wear linen, hmm? If I'm wearing a linen outfit and if I step outside, people will identify me as a member of minister family. And if the farmers are allowed to wear cotton or any other fabric, If I step outside wearing that, they will see me as a member of farmer family. So that is how social status worked. So like that, in order to identify your social status, whether you belong to a rich family, whether you belong to a middle class family, whether you belong to a poor family, in order to identify your social status, in order to show your social status, people in the ancient time used clothing. Okay. So how will they show their marital status through clothing? How can they? So for example, we are wearing sindoor, right? Like that in the north, if we go to the North Indian region, they used to wear, the married woman will be wearing red bangles, red and white combination bangles to show that they are newly married. They used to wear Mangal Sutra. We used to wear Tali. Huh? So those are small elements that will speak louder to the community, to the society that I'm a married woman. Without speaking, that will show that I'm a married woman. So like that, they used clothing to show that this person is a married woman. So rank, what what will be the what will be the meaning by rank? So if we take soldiers, so there is a kingdom, there is a king, he has a group of soldiers to protect his country, to protect him and his people. So there will be a chief, there will be an assistant, and there will be normal soldiers. So they will not be having similar uniforms. They will be having different uniforms to show that this person is the chief, this person is the assistant, and these are common soldiers, normal soldiers. Like that, to represent your rank, you are a government official, you are a normal employee. To show those things, your rank in the society, they used clothing. Okay, status in tribe, just like that. Everything is just similar only. The social status thing, this rank thing is similar to status in tribe. So in order to show that I am the head of this tribe, that head of the tribe will be wearing a different, maybe a crown and some other embellished shawls or something to show that he is the head of the tribe. So he will be following a different dress code to let others know that I am the one who's who's supposed to be respected. I am the head of this tribe. So that is how, if you are attending a marriage, you will not get confused by who is the bride, right? The bride will be really dressed up like a doll, wearing a lot of ornaments, wearing a lot of makeup, right? So you will be able to easily identify the bride. So that shows the status. She is the star. Profession and rank is similar only. In order to show your profession, they dressed in a particular way. Any doubts from morning till now? Do you have any doubts regarding these topics?
No, ma'am.
Sure.
No.
Okay. I hope Everything is clear. I would like to ask you, is anyone interested